What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling amazing today. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Cancer, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. So the purpose of this channel, for those of you who have Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Saturn, wherever, Cancer, this one's for you. And I do tarot card spreads based off our ruler here, the good old Moon. And I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, and when she's going void, of course, just all of those lunar shenanigans. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me. Never force a reading on a situation, and everything will be dope, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Cancer. So, Cancer, the moon, she's still chilling in Aquarius today. So it's a nice day nice little day for a Friday, depending on when you're watching this. Aquarius energy is very, very much about like networking and very much about like the soul tribe and just like connecting. And you may notice that emotions kind of take a back seat during this moon, and it's a more kind of a logical, kind of analytical type of energy that comes through with Aquarius. But and it's not to say that you may come across not come across as cold, but yeah, it's just that emotions are just not as heightened as this time, or we're just, a little more just kind of intellect, like more in the logical side of things, Cancer. And so just work with this energy if you want to do any kind of meetups or anything along those lines, maybe networking on social media, however that's looking like for you, Cancer. And this is also a good time too if we just have any great ideas. Aquarius energy, really the main definer is their innovative ability. So Cancer, if you got any ideas that you've been cooking up as of late, don't be afraid, jot some of that stuff down and see where you can take that. And then also, we're in the last quarter phase. And with the last quarter phase, this is a chance to just clean up shop, get rid of any sort of emotional and physical clutter, just really kind of cleansing your space, maybe buying some incense for your apartment, or maybe going for, I don't know, Cancer, just doing some things to just cleanse your energy. We're in this reflective half of the lunar phases here. So just something to think about while we're in this energy. And then last couple things. These decks that I'm working with, I've included links for all of them down in the description box below. And these readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings. So apply these, I love it. Apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situation, okay, Cancer? But look at you. We might be tapping into this Aquarius energy here, Cancer, because you got the eighth card of Sagittarius here for your general energy of the day. And this is the microphone card. What you got to say, Cancer? The world is listening. Maybe. But with this card, this is a card of news, trending, broadcast, expression, strong opinion, make known, current events, public speaking, speak truth, communicate, social media, being heard, and speaking up. So I want to start with, if we are in a place where we're in a public speaking, whether that be actual, maybe an orator, or life coach, or maybe something on social media, anything along those lines, like a YouTube channel, whatever, if you're in that kind of public sphere. I will say that with this energy, if we've been feeling that we want to stand out more in the crowd and really kind of, just make our presence known, this would be a great time, I feel especially with it being in Aquarius energy, to kind of navigate these different social media platforms, maybe post in different, I don't know, Cancer, but depending on how your stuff is looking, or what you may be doing, just maybe taking more, maybe hosting more, Cancer, when we're talking tech stuff here, now you're getting a little bit out of my wheelhouse here, Cancer. And you know what? If that's your thing, maybe this is something where you want to make yourself known, but you just maybe it's something it is out of your wheelhouse. Don't be afraid to network. Work with this Aquarius energy. Hit up somebody, because I bet you there's somebody in this day and age who's got it together. And you got your stuff, Cancer. You know, you're bringing some stuff to the table too. So it's like, let's make those energies work together and really let this stuff shine here. Who knows where this can take you? You know, I've been talking about this, especially with Pluto being in Aquarius. This is a great time for that, and honestly, going forward for like the next couple decades. So, but also, I feel that with this, you know, possibly there could be some like news or something. If we're waiting on some things, this could be a time if we've been, if you've been waiting on something and this is like feeling a little pressing or something along those lines, don't feel like you can't reach out, you know, if you haven't already. You know, this is just, if it's just been kind of on your mind, you know, if we're waiting for like hear back for like documents or however this may be looking, Cancer. Yeah, I feel like just, you know, if it's got you feeling a little anxious, you know, feel free to speak out. But last thing, just thinking with that, speak the truth. You know, if we've been in a situation, you know, whether this is in like a relationship with, let's say, a partner, or maybe in like a business where we feel that we've had to kind of quiet our truth, or feel like we've been suppressing our voice and not being able to speak out and really just make our feelings known, then I feel like that this could be a good time for you all, if that's something that's resonating with you, to do that as well, to speak your truth. Like especially if there's something that is not feeling harmonious and it's got you just in a weird kind of funk, Cancer. But let's see how we can work with this energy. Oh, Cancer. So, one, back to that social media sphere. You got the World in reverse here. Let it be known, Cancer. Get yourself out there. Oh, and you got the Magician. All right. Hold on, Cancer. Let's see. Because you know what? Wow. Okay, Cancer. Cancer. Okay. So, Emperor. This is aggressive. Emperor upright, and then you got the Magician and the World in reverse. And so back to those, if you're in some kind of like public thing right now, or even if you're thinking about this, you know, this can be something that it's time to rise up, Cancer. It's time to get yourself out there. Be bold, be assertive, be brave, and be confident. And if we're thinking that maybe we don't have enough tools or resources or whatever that is, then let's start filling in those gaps, Cancer, because it's like, you know, where you want to improve at, where you want to feel more confident in. So let's get you going towards that direction. And this could be something where, if we're doing, let's say, if we're thinking wanting to do like a public speaking or something, but maybe we're not feeling confident as far as how our voice is going to project or whatever it is, Cancer, hit up an Emperor, hit up like an expert, and see if maybe this is something that, you know, we can take some courses, or you don't even got to pay for anything, Cancer. I feel like there's enough information on there. It might be a little extra work, but we can do some research to find this stuff. But don't manifest this thing, Cancer. This is, you know, I was just talking with someone about this when we're thinking about big opportunities, and when, you know, we have like this stuff talking about like where there's like abundance all around you and things. It's when we were like kind of talking about with tarot, kind of looking for answers, and it's like tarot, I feel like, isn't really there to provide you answers. It's to get you to ask those questions, Cancer. It gets you with this Magician card. This is Mercury's card. Get you to challenge your mind, thinking about what can I do to get out there more? How can I get more confident? And then, like, because you'll find that all of the answers are within you, Cancer. That's what the Magician really highlights. I love this Magician especially because they have the tools, the wand, the cup, the pentacle, and the wand, cup, pentacle, and sword on their tattooed on them. It's like ingrained in them. And that's the thing, Cancer. You can manifest whatever it is that you want, especially if you want to maybe get out there and be known. But this is something that I feel like for some of you, if that's where you're thinking about, don't be nervous. And listen, if we're thinking about how am I going to get as big as others, don't worry about that. You're going to, because here's the thing, if you're thinking, like, for example, maybe the reason you don't want to start it up because, let's say you're wanting to, I don't know, maybe post like piano videos on YouTube or something, but there's so many other people, there are like 100 other people doing it. Okay, well, one, even with those 100 people, everyone has a different style, and someone's going to like your flavor, Cancer. You know, that's a nice thing about all of us. We're all so unique, and we all have different expressions and different interpretations. So the fact that you're not putting yourself out there, Cancer, we know, if anything, we're missing like a little piece, another piece to this world puzzle here. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there. And Cancer, as you start working on this thing, you know, it's going to be one of those, you might fumble at first, you know, might be some weird things, but you won't know where you're weak at and where you can grow until we give this thing a try. So don't be afraid to try this thing, Cancer. Now, I will go back to, again, if we've been feeling kind of oppressed, just because the Emperor upright normally is just like, it doesn't give me like oppressive energy, but just because we were kind of talking about that, if we're under, or feel like that there's someone here who's this like oppressive force, whether this be a person or maybe a situation, and this is affecting, you know, you just like moving on, and it's just like messing with your groove, and has really got you in kind of a funk here, Cancer. I feel like it's time to say that it's time for you to get in your Emperor energy and to start really creating some ways to get out of whatever this is that's going down. Speak your truth, and, you know, be safe. You know, if this is something, you know, I'm not sure how that might be translating. So, you know, apply it to your situation, but don't feel like like you have to be in a place where you can't speak up, or you feel like your voice isn't being heard, all of those things. If that's the case, Cancer, that's something that we don't want to suppress those things. And no one can, because here's the thing, you know, like freedom and all that, freedom isn't given, it's taken. And so if someone has taken your freedom, it's time for you to get that back, Cancer. So, you know, I don't feel like that's going to resonate with a lot, but just something to think about, Cancer. All right, let's see how else we can work with this energy. But yeah, this could be a time for some of us, you know, really for all of us. And you listen, Cancer, when I'm talking about as far as like, you know, maybe getting yourself out there, this could be maybe even like, if it's not like a public speaking, maybe you've been thinking about like maybe doing like writing some stuff, you know, or maybe do like, you know, like a book or like poetry, or I don't know, Cancer, maybe putting some art out there, just like getting yourself out there, making this known. It doesn't have to be where you're trying to get famous, but, or maybe you could, you know, maybe you want to get famous in your community, you know, or get well known in your community for, you know, whatever skill that you're bringing. But, you know, this is a great time to just really start filling this space, you know, with all these changes and things that are going down. You know, how do we want this world to look? We're really in a prime time. And, you know, I've been talking about this, thinking about Aries. That solar eclipse in Aries is coming up next week. So this is something to think about. Set your intentions. What does Emperor Cancer look like? And start writing some of that stuff down. What do you want to manifest? This is a brilliant time to create. This is brilliant. Wait, thank you, higher self. Yeah, let's get some more, Cancer. This is how we do a Friday. We going big. Let's see what else we got here, Cancer. All right, we got 6 of Stars in reverse here, and then we got 2 of Wands. And with this 6 of Stars, Cancer, you know, I feel like that this energy is saying that if we've been putting energy into things that, I'm just really just kind of with this Emperor energy popping up here. If we've been putting energy into things that have been kind of keeping us down, you know, I'm really kind of getting with that constricting thing again. And again, this doesn't have to be a person. This can just be like, maybe we're trapped in like or feel like we're trapped in like a weird type of like work situation where we kind of like hate our jobs, but it's just like, how do we want to get out of this thing? You know, what does that look like? Or I don't know, maybe there's something with like, you know, apply it to your situation, Cancer, as it makes sense. But just like, I feel that if there's something that it feels like you've been giving to a situation and giving, and it's just that it's just all it's just been has just been taking from you and just been kind of, just kind of siphoning away from your creativity and your energy and whatnot. Again, I think with this Two of Wands, because this is a lot of strong Aries energy here coming up with this Emperor and the Two of Wands. This is Mars in Aries. So Mars is dignified in Aries. So I'm getting a big thing over here, Cancer. However this is resonating, how we can work with these energies is start thinking about taking some action, getting a game plan, and seeing how we can start moving on and really kind of leveling up, Cancer, because on either end, however this, with the scenarios that I've laid out, there's going to be growth regardless, but it's going to be something that you have to take this in your hands. And really, Cancer, with how the energies are lining up, this is going to be a great time to really be intentional. And something too, Cancer, if we've been feeling trapped or like we can't speak our truth or anything along those lines, that's something that we want to be careful of, because really, I always, we talk about thoughts becoming things, but just something, manifestation, creation, however that this translates for you, I feel like it's, the energy's getting a little more potent. So just be mindful of where our thoughts are at and where we're putting our energies into. And if we're not feeling that same kind of give and take, then it's time to adjust. Just when I'm just thinking about that, making yourself known, or we've been thinking about like taking that step into like the public eye, or just even putting some content out there or something along those lines. With this Six of Stars, I feel like be willing to pour into yourself, Cancer, to find a way to get how can we make this situation really work for us, and how can we get the most out of this thing. I feel like it's always worth it, especially, because this could be something where maybe we're feeling a little nervous. But if you're feeling nervous, follow that, Cancer, because that means that nervous, I feel like that's like a mask for excitement. It's like once you get on there, I feel like it's a whole different ball game, So, all right, Cancer, let's see what may be some challenges when working with this energy. Interesting. That makes sense. So, Cancer, you got the Seven of Wands in reverse here. And if, that really does. Especially if we're thinking about trying to get ourselves in the public, we could be worried about criticisms, what people may think about our creations, or think about whatever our knowledge, however that's looking. But here's the thing. Everyone's going to have an opinion, Cancer. And my thing with that, especially if those, like, when we get into like people criticizing and things and saying like, oh, this sucks and blah, blah, blah. Cancer, the fact that you created something and it was like, it filled your cups, like, creations don't suck. Creations can improve, absolutely. But if someone just is like, is poo-pooing your creative endeavors, something I find that, and not that that's been the case, but like, I feel like a good mindset that may help with that is just like thinking, I wouldn't necessarily engage with this person, but it's just like thinking from the mindset, okay, what has this person created today other than lowering the vibration? As long as what you're doing is just leveling you up, Cancer, and leveling up society, don't worry about criticisms or anything about that. Though the criticism we want to pay attention to are the ones that are offering us like advice, where it's just like, hey, Cancer, I love what you did. Had you considered, I just thought of this cool idea, like, let's say you did an art piece and then they're like, hey, have you thought of like maybe working with like, I saw you work with like, I don't know, Cancer, like pastel colors. Have you considered doing like watercolors, just with how your style is? I think that would make it more vivid and blah, 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 blah. Those kind of criticisms, absolutely, bring them on. But just like things that are just like opinions and critiques that are just like there to just like cut you, Cancer, those are the things like how I tell you at the beginning, take what resonates with you and leave the rest with them, But, and Cancer, protect your energy too from yourself, because sometimes we can be, even worse than others, we can be our biggest critics. And really, where someone might think that something was spectacular and we could find like 20 things that was wrong with it and ways that we wanted to improve. And, that's something too, Cancer, when we're thinking about that. don't look at it as things that if we had areas that we could have improved on. Don't look at them as things that you did wrong or that like, oh my gosh, that sucked or that I could have did that better. Absolutely. Think about it like that. Like, oh, that's an area that I see that I'm a little, that I can, that I could use some, that could use some strengthening, or, oh, I didn't know that. I never noticed that I did this because Cancer, I'll tell you what, there are times I'll look back at videos and recordings, I'm just like, oh, I say that a lot. Or it's like, oh, how can I work on this thing? And, it just, you don't know these things until you try, and then when you get eyes on them, protect your energy. But if we're just creating, Cancer, and you're expressing yourself, then it's beautiful, and there's nothing to feel lack of confidence with. And then again, just with that oppressor, this possible emperor or situation, just again, if it's gotten us feeling down, let's protect our energies. Let's keep it moving. Interesting. Okay. Knight of Wands in reverse. And again, Cancer, this really is just about taking that action, taking the step and feeling confident in yourself, because this is one of Leo's cards. And so feeling confident that whatever it is that you're doing, where it may be something new at first, it may be a little uncomfortable, maybe if we're just getting in the groove of this, but don't let it get you. Don't let the fear of failing, or just like fear in general, especially if this is something that really excites you, it's okay to have a little bit of nerves and all of those things, but we can channel that nerves and that anxiety into just to fuel. That's what the Emperor does. He turns fear into fuel. And that's where I feel like, if that's something that's resonating with you, Cancer, this could even be just like taking a step for like your next, or like I don't know, maybe like just thinking with the speaking the truth. If we've just been thinking like, oh, I've been at this business for a while and I'm just realizing that it kind of sucks. Like I wanted to, do a change. And I get it, change can be a little frightening, Cancer, but if it's going to improve you from where we're currently at, take the chance, Cancer. Take the risk. See where, calculate a risk, Cancer. I'm not saying you put yourself in a precarious situation, but, don't stay in a place that's lowering your vibration. More. Okay, Cancer, let's get some advice from Saturn and Uranus. See what's going on with those two. What an interesting combo. But I guess that's Aquarius energy. Interesting. All right. So Cancer. Yeah, it just seems like a lot of... Yeah, okay. So how we can work with this energy. You got the Six of Wands or some advice. You got Six of Wands in reverse here, and then you got the Page of Stars upright. And with the Six of Wands, Cancer, this is like, I feel like can be something fantastic. I feel like can come from this, even if this is not like a career shift, or like, you're putting yourself out there. I feel like even just like if we've just been doing like art as like a hobby, or maybe doing little like knickknacks, building stuff, whatever. I feel like that even if you just put this stuff out on the side, maybe not even necessarily to sell, but maybe you do like a gallery, something, get like a community thing where people can kind of come together, maybe bring together, maybe, hell, maybe there's people who are around your neighborhood or who are also doing art. You can form a whole thing. But I feel like that if you were to do this, Cancer, you never know what kind of victories, what sort of like who you might be exposed to, what opportunities could come your way. It could create some really cool things, Cancer, and it could possibly get you in a place where it might get you some pentacles along the way, get you some resources. And on top of that, the stars are more than just like the money. This will get you in a place where you're feeling good, because now you're living your truth and we're getting it out there. We've been feeling confident, all of these things. So Cancer, don't let fear, if that's something that's holding you back, don't be afraid of this thing. And again, if we're thinking about, getting to that big win, because maybe this is something we've been trying to put ourselves out there for a while, but nothing's really hit yet. Well, Cancer, see your progress up until now. Check out how what wins have been going down, because in order to get to that big win, we have to appreciate the little wins along the way and see where we can make tweaks and whatnots. And it's like it's all of those little wins, because we're learning, we're growing, we're celebrating. That's going to lead to that big microphone moment, to that big news, to that thing. But it's just we have to keep it going. So let's see what else we got. And this is a great time too, Cancer, even just thinking with putting yourself out there. With Venus is in Gemini right now. This is great, very great social energy for promoting yourself, and you know your speech is going to be more charming, got that little Empress flavor. So don't be afraid, Cancer, really. Go get that abundance. Go manifest some stuff, because this is the primo time. Let's see what else we got here. Six of Moons, Mark. All right, Cancer, let's switch back over here. Because with this Six of Moons, I really feel like this can be a card of just like really sharing this stuff, Cancer. You know, these dreams, these... And I really do think, like, really, if it's not like a sharing things on like social media or something along those lines, sharing stuff with maybe friends, maybe with family, something along those lines, just like let them know like what you've been just kind of cooking up. Just like, it's not like that we're just like, hey, look at me, but just like if you just happen to be in conversation, you know, talk about these things, because you never know what type of opportunities people might think about. They're like, oh, you've been working on that? I actually just heard about such and such on. But you never know, Cancer. So I feel like, you know, don't be afraid to put your stuff out there and just seeing, you know, just seeing what happens. I feel like something really cool could really come up from this, you know. And Cancer, you know, if there's something, again, really, that have just been kind of, you've been wanting to express, you know, really live your truth and live it just to the fullest. So I like that, Cancer. That's a nice way to end of Friday, or you know what I'm trying to say, Cancer. Mercury retrograde's coming, but if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up, Cancer, and share this. I'd love to see Cancerians just getting out there and just feeling more confident, feeling in their Emperor energy. It's going to say, this isn't Mars, but Aries ruler is in our sign right now, Cancer. So this is a great time. And you can express your emotions, have more action, and you can be passionate, Cancer. Share this thing. Let's get some Queen of Cups energy out there. And then, if you haven't already, subscribe. Oh, and don't forget about me when you get famous, Cancer. And subscribe, hit that bell button. You get notified when I release videos each day. And then social media. I got some things I need to work on too with social media. I got to meet with someone here soon. But as of right now, I've been working on this group, or I created a group on this meditation app called Insight Timer. And the group is called Zodiacs Raising the Vibration. And it's just a group to drop like positive affirmations, encouraging messages. I drop one there daily, and I encourage you to do the same. And then as the group grows, I want to do just like meditations and just all types of cool stuff, Cancer. You know, void a course with the Queen of Cups or the High Priestess. They're still hashing that out. But check that out, Cancer. And again, that's Zodiacs Raising the Vibration. That's the name of the group, and it's on the app Insight Timer. And then lastly, check your sun, your moon, your rising. You never know what skills, Cancer, you might be meant for this stuff here. You might got maybe some Sag in your chart. You might need to be maybe some Leo in your chart to get out there and shine, Emperor. But check all that stuff out, Cancer. Then come over and check out my other channel, the Alchemist 8. I do videos. I do weekly videos there. Got a monthly spread I'm about to start next week. And I got yearly spreads for solar returns, for birthday stuff. It's a good old time, Cancer. And all that housekeeping down in the description box below. I was like, where did that go? But let me get your surprise card here so I can get you out of here. You got the Wheel of Fortune here in reverse. And I like that, Cancer. Let's get your Oracle card shuffle. But with the Wheel of Fortune popping up in reverse, this gives you a chance. If you've been wanting to take that next leap, Cancer, you know, destiny is here saying like you can take control of this wheel if you haven't been feeling that things have been where you want to be. It's the nice thing about this, you know, the wheel it turns to however, you know, the wheel's going to respond to what energies that we put out there. And so when we start start living, living in our truth, Cancer, and really start. I love that. I love that. And then you got the dream card here, Cancer. We start making our dreams come true. Take our dreams and start manifesting them into reality, because that's what you got. The world here, Saturn energy. Oh, and that just kind of dawned on me, Cancer. Saturn energy's here. And with Saturn, because Saturn's in Pisces right now. And this energy is about literally taking all those dreams that you've been thinking about and bringing those out here, making them come true, Cancer. We're ready for you. We would love to hear what you got to say, what you need to show, what beauty that you're trying to bring to the world here, Cancer. So come on. Let's share the abundance. Let's spread that around, Cancer. So I love it. You, Cancer, this is fantastic. You enjoy your weekend and stay safe out there, and be confident, Cancer. Really take this weekend and get into your confidence. But yeah, enjoy your weekend, and I will catch you on the next one Monday.